Okay, let's talk about a game that is fucking awesome and just hit the shelves. It is UFC Undisputed 3 for the PlayStation 3. This game has everything that fans of MMA love about the UFC series of games, plus a whole hell of a lot more. The game runs the gambit from being easier than a drunken slut to harder than getting anything from a daughter of the American Revolution. So for all skill levels, it does have something to offer. So let's check this piece of shit out.
Okay, so the game starts up and you've got the typical modes you've come to expect to see from a UFC game. Exhibition, career, title mode, ultimate fights, title defense, and tournament mode. The create mode, which I'll cover later when I get into the career mode. I'm probably missing something, but you can see for yourself that this game has a ton of modes, enough to keep the replay value extremely high. So let's start off with a simple exhibition and just pick a couple of guys here. When you start a match in exhibition for the first time, it'll have the hints turned on. I recommend turning the hints off because they will pop up about every 3 fucking seconds telling you how to play the game. Fortunately, the controls are simple enough that any idiot can learn them as he goes along. Before we leave the exhibition mode, I just want to show you that this year's UFC game has a new addition, and that is Pride. Basically, the fights are the same, except that you can do a few things in Pride that you can't in the UFC. And the fact is that Pride fights take place in a traditional boxing ring versus the octagon. On to the championship mode. It's basically a watered-down version of the career mode. The big difference is no training or stat building, fewer fights, and if you lose 3 times, then you're done. New to the title defense mode is the fact that to unlock everything, you have to win 100 times. I'm not joking. 100 fucking title defenses. Jesus, do they think my ass is sewn to a chair?
I mean, if you want to go through it, grab yourself some pizza rolls and a 2-liter of Diet Pepsi and have at it.
Okay, let me quickly go over the tournament mode. It's basically a single elimination tournament in the style of the old school UFC events. You can either have Pride or UFC rules, and the last man in the tournament is declared the champion. Lastly, the Ultimate Fights mode have been completely redone. Instead of the last game's checklist of shit you have to do, random commands of things you have to do will be given to you, and you have a set time to get them done in, but don't worry, you can repeat the match as much as you want until you get 100%. If you're a more advanced player, this challenge mode should be right up your fucking alley.
Okay, so I think I've covered just about every short mode in the game, so let's dive into the big motherfucker in this game, the career mode. UFC's 3 career mode is the deepest one to date for more than one reason. If the peripheral shit wasn't enough to justify buying the game, then the career mode alone makes the game worth it. It's funner than getting a double blowjob from Jennifer Aniston and Natalie Portman. So let's check it out.
Career mode.
Alright, so the career mode starts off with you as a new MMA fighter, and this is where I'll talk about the fighter creation mode. It's deep, but still easy enough for the novice, with enough variety in the preset shit to make creating a fighter in a hurry relatively easy. Or if you don't want to create a new fighter, you can take one from the roster on a new career. But, fuck it, create your own. After you get the look of your fighter down, you're going to go through this tutorial section that teaches you the basics of the game. Then it's on to the training fight, and it will let you know what level the game thinks you should be at. But not to worry, you can change the setting to your liking. Now it's time to start your MMA career in the WFA. Basically, in the WFA, win about 5 or 6 fights in a row, and you'll either be given a shot at the WFA title, or you'll be offered a fight in the UFC. Now, unlike last year's that just put you right in the UFC right away, this time you can actually keep defending your WFA belt until basically the UFC makes you an offer you can't refuse. When you reach the UFC, you'll win fights, gain popularity, and eventually you'll fight for the title. Then you're on your way to becoming an Octagon legend, with the ultimate goal being included in the UFC's Hall of Fame. Along the way, you'll get sponsorship deals, create a banner to have in the background, a ring walk with the music of your choice, and a ton of other options to choose from so that no two careers will be exactly the same. With enough difficulty for master players and easy enough for the casual gamer, UFC 3's career mode is for everyone who enjoys MMA, sports games, or just good games in general. Before I leave the career mode, there's one last thing I think I really should mention because it is kind of cool. At certain points during your UFC career, you can actually go over and fight in Pride, and even partake and win the Pride Grand Prix. I don't believe you can actually win the Pride title, so before anyone fucking asks, no, you actually have to start in the UFC, and you can't exactly exclusively fight for Pride.
Well, it sounds like a great game, right? Well, there's one thing about this game. There is one big shit stain preventing this game from being a fucking masterpiece. Now, what in the hell could I be talking about that's so fucking annoying that it actually drags down the overall gameplay experience of an otherwise fantastic game?
The answer? The 429 fucking movies that play throughout the entire fucking career mode. I mean, for every possible thing you can think of in this mode, it has a goddamn movie for it. Maxing a punch, first win, first loss, first title, pride fight. Hell, even simple training have videos attached to them. And you can skip them. It's just fighters chit-chatting. Why the hell isn't there an option to turn the fucking things off completely? Trust me, you'll be skipping most of them. There's a ton of them. I wouldn't mind it so much if they helped me with the game, but they have nothing to do with the goddamn game. How in the hell is Sean Shirk talking about winning a title going to help my fictional character win? They're a complete waste of disk space that would have been better spent keeping the fighter interviews they had in the last installment. That's another thing about this. Why in the hell did they do away with the post-match interview? I mean, that was a great way to set up rivalries, and it made the whole thing seem a lot more realistic. They traded it for the entrances, which are fine, but after the first time, I usually end up skipping the damn things. And those absolutely useless fucking movies that have absolutely no purpose other than to annoy the piss out of you while you're trying to play the game.
Finally, I just want to briefly talk about the new submission system in UFC 3. Now, I don't mind it personally. I know a lot of people are complaining about it because it's not realistic and it's not 100% accurate to how real the real submissions work. Well, I have a question. What boxing game has been 100% accurate depicting a boxing match? Which Madden game was 100% accurate depicting on how real football games actually go? It's called a video game. It is not real life. With MMA, there is actually probably too many variables that we are ever going to get a 100% accurate game. So you know what? Take the stick out of your ass and just enjoy the fucking game. In conclusion, for the most part, UFC 3 is a fantastic game and has a lot of good replay value, and it is definitely worth the $60. Like I said, it would have been a masterpiece if it wasn't for those fucking movies. So the last thing I have to say is, why in the fuck are you still watching me when you should already be at the store buying your own copy of UFC Undisputed 3?